For years, we heard a simple idea. If you want strong bones after 60, take more calcium, more pills, more powders, more chewables. But real health is rarely solved by a context-free more. The body is a system, not a spreadsheet. Your heart, circulation, and nerves are in constant conversation with your bones. Not all calcium, not every mix, and not every schedule is harmless. Some combinations are worth avoiding because they alter absorption, interfere with other treatments, and, most importantly, can raise risks we don't want. Irregular heart rhythms, blood pressure swings, and discomforts that erode vitality and the intimate confidence we want to protect in mature years. This message has one purpose: help you strengthen your skeleton without hardening your heart. I'll guide you, calmly and with practical precision, through what not to mix with calcium, how to take it wisely, and which natural habits multiply its benefits without hidden costs. We'll bust myths, organize interactions, design smart timing, and seal the plan with circulation, sleep, and movement habits that support longevity day after day. Let's break a myth in one sentence. It isn't dietary calcium that typically complicates the heart. It's poorly used supplements, at the wrong time or with the wrong companions. That small mistake can trigger a chain of dose changes, confusing labs, and needless anxiety. You deserve clear rules to avoid that cascade. Picture a rushed morning. Coffee, levothyroxine for thyroid, a calcium tablet for the bones, a blood pressure pill, maybe an acid blocker, perhaps a multivitamin, all together. 2 weeks later, your energy dips, sleep turns shallow, thyroid labs look off, and your blood pressure jumps. You hear about dose adjustments, repeat tests, and watchful waiting. What happened? We fell into the silent error of mixing calcium with medications it blocks, amplifies in the wrong way, or destabilizes. No bad intent, just lack of order. That disorder has real consequences. Falsely altered results that scare you, dose changes you didn't need, digestive discomfort that cuts appetite, constipation that drains energy, and a heart that, sensing inner instability, answers with beats you don't trust. That's not what anyone wants at 60, 70, or 80. We want steady mornings, light and confident walks, warm hands from healthy microcirculation, and an intimate well-being supported by elastic vessels and a calm nervous system. Calcium is a tool, not a shortcut. It works when you respect the what, the when, and the with what. It protects your heart when you embed it in a lifestyle that clears its path: restorative sleep, weight-bearing movement, adequate protein, nitrate-rich vegetables, and a healthy relationship with daylight. Start with the most common clash: calcium and levothyroxine at the same time. Calcium binds levothyroxine in the intestine and reduces its absorption. The thyroid appears off. You feel fatigue, cold, and brain fog. The practical rule is simple. Levothyroxine alone at wake-up with water, wait a little to eat, and keep at least 4 hours between levothyroxine and any calcium supplement. Put calcium at lunch or dinner. Hormones steady, energy steadies, mind clears. Now consider calcium with thiazide diuretics, like hydrochlorothiazide, without supervision. Thiazides reduce renal calcium excretion, and high-dose calcium on top can push blood calcium higher than desired. The risks are palpitations, constipation, malaise, and confusing blood pressure swings. Skip self-prescribed megadoses. Prioritize dietary calcium and, if a supplement is truly needed, use moderate, split doses with periodic labs. Calcium with digoxin or other heart-sensitizing drugs deserves maximum respect. Elevated serum calcium can facilitate arrhythmias and magnify unwanted effects of sensitive cardiac medications. If you take digoxin, don't self-supplement. Coordinate timing and dose with your clinical team and keep close monitoring. Your heartbeat is non-negotiable. Calcium alongside tetracycline or fluoroquinolone antibiotics is another mismatch. Calcium captures these antibiotics in the gut and blunts absorption. Separate calcium by a few hours from the antibiotic as your clinician advises. The infection resolves, efficacy is preserved, and your microbiota takes less collateral damage. Calcium carbonate with acid-suppressing drugs, like omeprazole, is a poor pairing. Carbonate relies on stomach acid for good absorption. On proton pump inhibitors, acidity drops and carbonate underperforms. Calcium citrate absorbs more reliably with low acid, so a small change in form makes a big difference. Calcium with iron at the same moment underperforms because they compete for transport. Keep a few hours between them. Many people take iron with vitamin C at a different time and reserve calcium for another meal. The same idea applies to large hits of caffeine or strong tea at the exact minute as your supplement. Caffeine doesn't erase calcium, but together it can modestly reduce uptake. Leave a small window between them and keep intake moderate. Be cautious with megadoses of vitamin D without clear need. Vitamin D enhances calcium absorption. Stacking high D without indication can push serum calcium higher than you want. Aim for sufficiency, not excess, and let lab-guided decisions drive your dosing. Now the positive side. Food first, bottle second. Dietary calcium arrives packaged with proteins and cofactors that guide its journey. Plain yogurt or kefir, sardines with bones, calcium-set tofu, almonds, sesame seeds, broccoli, kale, chard, and bok choy are steady allies. A simple target, 2 to 3 food sources daily, brings better tolerance, fewer spikes, and a gentler metabolic footprint. Use the calcium clock. Keep levothyroxine alone and early. Place calcium later in the day. Separate sensitive antibiotics and iron by a few hours. If you use a proton pump inhibitor, choose calcium citrate. If you're on thiazides or digoxin, only supplement with professional guidance and moderate doses. Leave a small gap between coffee or tea and your supplement. Choose doses your body appreciates. Most people do better with 300 to 500 milligrams per dose, split across the day, than with one heavy 1,000 milligram blast. You'll likely see less constipation, less nausea, and fewer spikes. The goal isn't a sky-high total, it's to complete what food doesn't cover. Build the bone tripod that also protects the heart. Adequate calcium, sufficient vitamin D, and mechanical stimulus. Brisk walking for 30 minutes daily, taking stairs, chair-assisted squats, heel raises, and band rows 2 or 3 times a week strengthen bone, improve vasodilation, steady blood pressure, and support pelvic microcirculation, the quiet basis of more secure, intimate well-being. Feed microcirculation with natural nitrates. Arugula, spinach, and beets deliver compounds your body turns into nitric oxide, encouraging elastic arteries, warmer hands, and a clearer head. The felt effect is calm vitality, less cardiovascular noise, more usable energy. Treat sleep as a silent medicine. 7 to 8 consistent hours reset hormones, lower inflammation, and steady blood pressure. A simple bedtime bridge helps. Dim light for an hour, a brief warm shower, 3 lines in a notebook, what you're grateful for, what you're releasing, what you'll resume tomorrow, and a slightly cooler room. Good sleep reduces the impulse to fix fatigue with unnecessary supplements. Keep the gut happy with hydration and fiber so calcium doesn't slow your system. A glass of water upon waking, vegetables at 2 meals, and soaked chia or flax if you tolerate them can make a meaningful difference. A contented gut absorbs better and complains less. Here's a realistic 10-day reset to practice and internalize the essentials. On days 1 and 2, lock in your timing. Levothyroxine alone in the morning if you take it. Calcium at lunch or dinner. Citrate over carbonate if you're on an acid blocker. And professional guidance before adding calcium if you're on a thiazide or digoxin. On days 3 and 4, build your plate. Add 2 food sources of calcium daily and anchor protein at breakfast or lunch to support muscle and bone. On days 5 and 6, load the skeleton. Walk briskly for 30 minutes, split into 2 sets of 15 if needed, and do a short strength routine of chair-assisted squats, heel raises, and band rows. On days 7 and 8, feed microcirculation with leafy greens daily and beets twice a week, and take 2 slow exhale breathing pauses. On days 9 and 10, review gently energy, sleep, bowel regularity, mood, and body confidence. Adjust from there. If diet now covers your needs, scale back the supplement. If you still need one, keep moderate, split doses. Carry a pocket rule set. Food first, then supplement. Never with levothyroxine, keep 4 hours apart. Separate iron and sensitive antibiotics by a few hours. Prefer calcium citrate if you're on a proton pump inhibitor. If you use a thiazide or digoxin, supplement only with professional oversight. Choose moderate, divided doses. Keep the bone tripod steady with adequate vitamin D, weight-bearing movement, and protein. Real people feel real change with small adjustments. Elena, 68, had stable hypothyroidism and new fatigue. She was taking levothyroxine with coffee and calcium at the same time. She reorganized levothyroxine alone at wake-up, calcium with the main meal, coffee 45 to 60 minutes later. 2 weeks later, energy and mood returned. Walks felt lighter. Luis, 72, had hypertension managed with a thiazide and added 1,000 milligrams of calcium on his own. Constipation and pressure swings followed. With his clinician, he lowered the supplement, prioritized yogurt and greens, split doses, and added gentle strength work. A month later, his bowels were regular, his pressure steadier, and his body confidence better. Maria, 70, took a quinolone for a urinary infection and kept her nightly calcium. She separated calcium by 6 hours and increased hydration. The infection resolved without relapse, sleep improved, and intimate comfort stayed steady. Strengthen your bones without hardening your heart. Organize the mixes, respect the timing, and let nature do its part. Pick one adjustment to start today. Separate calcium from your thyroid pill. Switch to citrate if you use acid blockers, or split your dose. Share your decision with someone you trust, and notice how your days feel over the next 2 weeks. Your well-being is a long-term project worthy of order and care. Step by step, with smart timing and kind habits, you'll build stronger bones, a calmer heart, and brighter days.